Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, stumbled your way to the bathroom, and then struggled to fall back asleep? Maybe it happens once, maybe 2 or 3 times. And the next morning, instead of feeling refreshed, you're groggy, a little irritable, and wondering how you'll make it through the day. Sound familiar? You're definitely not alone. For many people over 60, those nightly bathroom trips become a frustrating routine. And while they might seem harmless at first, just part of getting older, they can actually affect so much more than just your sleep. When you're not getting solid, uninterrupted rest, it starts to wear on your body. Your energy dips, your memory feels foggy, and over time, your overall health takes a hit. But what if I told you that something as simple as changing a few things on your plate could help you sleep through the night again? Not some expensive medication or a complicated bedtime ritual, just a few everyday vegetables that work with your body, not against it. You see, the bladder is a lot like a toddler. It doesn't like being irritated, and when it is, it acts out, often at the worst times. Many people don't realize that the food they eat, especially late in the day, can either calm the bladder or trigger it. Some foods make it hold more, some make it feel the need to empty too often, and others, believe it or not, help balance everything out. And that's where today's little secret comes in. There are a few vegetables that seem almost tailor-made for people over 60 who want to stop those nightly interruptions and finally get the deep rest their body craves. Let's start with one that's as humble as it is powerful: cucumbers. You might be thinking, wait a minute, aren't cucumbers mostly water? And you'd be right. But here's the interesting part. While cucumbers do have a high water content, they also contain compounds that help reduce inflammation, particularly in the urinary tract. That means they can help soothe an overactive bladder, especially when eaten during the day instead of at night. When your bladder is less inflamed, it holds better, signals less, and lets you rest longer. Some people like to slice them into a salad. Others just enjoy them with a pinch of salt and a drizzle of olive oil. However you take them, cucumbers are one of the simplest things you can add to your day for better nights. Another vegetable that works quietly behind the scenes is sweet potato. It's not just tasty and comforting. It's a natural source of potassium and magnesium, which help regulate fluid levels and reduce muscle spasms. Why does that matter? Because sometimes nighttime trips to the bathroom aren't just about needing to go. They're triggered by little spasms in the bladder that wake you up before it's even full. Magnesium-rich foods like sweet potatoes help ease that tension. And the fiber? That helps keep your digestion in check, which also plays a big role in how pressure builds in the lower belly. A baked sweet potato with a sprinkle of cinnamon can be a delicious healing part of dinner that supports better sleep. Now, before we get too cozy, let's talk about a slightly less popular veggie that deserves more attention: celery. It may not be the flashiest vegetable in the bunch, but when it comes to supporting your bladder, it's a quiet champion. Celery is a natural diuretic, but not in the harsh, dehydrating way some teas or pills can be. Instead, it helps flush out excess sodium, which reduces water retention. That means your body processes fluids more efficiently throughout the day, so by nighttime there's less left over to wake you up. Celery also helps balance pH levels in the body, which keeps the bladder from becoming overly acidic, a major trigger for nighttime urgency. Some people enjoy celery as a snack with a little peanut butter, while others prefer tossing it into soups or stews for added crunch and benefit. The best part? It's low-calorie, nutrient-rich, and easy on the digestive system. What's so encouraging is that these aren't some rare, expensive ingredients you have to hunt down at a specialty store. They're right there in your grocery aisle, waiting to be part of a dinner that doesn't end in restless sleep. And when you start eating with your bladder in mind, even just a little, you start noticing the difference. Maybe you sleep through the night just once at first, then again the next night. And soon, that tired, groggy morning version of you starts to fade away. Because the truth is, sleep isn't a luxury at this age. It's a lifeline. It's what keeps your mind sharp, your mood stable, and your body strong. And when you're constantly being jolted awake by your bladder, it steals that from you. But when you fuel your body with the right support, when you give it what it needs instead of what irritates it, it gives back in the best way. Let's keep going. There's one more important vegetable I want to tell you about, and this one might surprise you. So let's talk about that last vegetable, the one most people overlook, even though it might just be the most effective of them all when it comes to calming the bladder at night. That vegetable? It's asparagus. Now, I know asparagus has a bit of a reputation. Some people avoid it because of the way it smells, or they simply aren't sure how to cook it. But when it comes to supporting healthy kidney and bladder function, especially after 60, this little green spear is a game changer. What makes asparagus so special is its natural balance of fiber, antioxidants, and something called asparagine, which helps the body gently eliminate excess fluids without irritating the bladder. Unlike caffeinated drinks or harsh diuretics that can actually make you more dehydrated and more prone to bladder spasms, asparagus supports your system in a very gentle way. It helps clear out what's not needed, reduces bloating, and makes those nighttime wake-ups less urgent. Some seniors even report that when they include asparagus in a few dinners each week, especially earlier in the day, they start noticing that they sleep longer stretches without interruptions. The best part? You don't need a fancy recipe. Just a quick roast with a little olive oil and garlic, or a light steam with a squeeze of lemon, and you've got a side dish that does more than just fill your plate. It supports your sleep. Of course, it's not just about what we eat. How and when we eat these foods can make a difference too. For example, many people unknowingly load up on their biggest meal right before bed, often with salty or heavy foods. That habit alone can keep your digestive and urinary systems too active at night, making you more likely to get up. But by shifting most of your vegetable-rich meals to earlier in the evening, say 5 or 6 p.m., you give your body time to process them fully before bedtime. That way your bladder isn't working overtime while you're trying to rest. And while we're here, let's be honest, bladder problems don't just mess with your sleep. They can shake your confidence. You might find yourself avoiding long walks, skipping social events, or always scanning the room for the nearest restroom. That feeling, that constant worry, it adds stress that you just don't need. But knowing that you have a bit more control than you realized, well, that can be incredibly empowering. Small changes like adding these vegetables to your plate, being mindful of when you eat, and staying hydrated during the day rather than right before bed add up over time. They give your body a chance to rebalance. You might not feel the difference overnight, but stick with it. Your body remembers how to heal. It just needs the right tools. And sometimes, the hardest part is simply believing that something this simple can make a real difference. We've all been conditioned to think that only prescriptions or complicated regimens are the answer. But food, when chosen wisely, can be just as powerful. Especially when it's tailored to the unique needs of our age, where digestion slows a little, hormones shift, and what worked in our 30s or 40s may no longer serve us today. So if you've been frustrated, if you've spent too many nights tossing and turning, walking the same quiet hallway back and forth from your bed to the bathroom, just know you're not stuck. Your body isn't broken. It's responding to signals. And now you're starting to understand how to send it new ones, calmer ones, restful ones. It's also helpful to pair these food changes with a few gentle bedtime habits. Nothing extreme, just little rituals that tell your body it's safe to settle. Maybe dimming the lights an hour before bed, or taking 5 slow breaths while you're brushing your teeth. These small actions, combined with better nourishment, help reset your system over time. Now, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. You don't have to rush out and overhaul your whole pantry today. Just pick one of these vegetables and find a way to enjoy it. Try cucumbers in your lunch, sweet potatoes with dinner, or roasted asparagus as a side this weekend. Let it be easy. Let it be something you look forward to. Because at the end of the day, this is about more than food or sleep. It's about dignity. It's about feeling in control of your body again. It's about waking up feeling rested, not restless. And yes, it's absolutely possible, even after 60, even if it's been years since you've had a truly good night's sleep. There's one more thing I want to share before we wrap this up, and it ties everything together. There's one more thing I want to share with you before we finish, and it's something that often gets overlooked when we talk about health and aging. It's the reminder that your body is still listening to you, even now, even after 60, 70, 80. It hasn't stopped working with you. It's just waiting for a little kindness, a little attention, and a little consistency. Maybe you've spent years dealing with nighttime interruptions. Maybe you've chalked it up to just getting older. And yes, our bodies change with time, but that doesn't mean you're powerless. Far from it. When you start feeding your body what it truly needs, foods that calm the bladder, reduce inflammation, and ease the strain on your system, you're sending it a new message. I care. I'm paying attention. And I'm ready to feel better. You don't have to do everything all at once. Just imagine this. You prepare a light, comforting dinner with roasted sweet potatoes and some steamed asparagus. You add a few cucumber slices to your lunch earlier in the day. You stop drinking fluids about 2 hours before bedtime. Then, right before sleep, you take a few quiet moments. No phone, no television, just your breath and the calm stillness of evening. That's it. Nothing fancy. Just a quiet commitment to your well-being. And after a few nights, you notice something different. Maybe you only get up once instead of 3 times. Maybe you sleep straight through until morning. Maybe you wake up and realize, wow, I feel rested. That one shift can ripple into your whole day. More energy, a clearer head, a brighter mood. You might find yourself wanting to go for a longer walk, chatting more with loved ones, smiling at strangers again. Because that's what sleep does. It restores more than your body. It revives your spirit. And you deserve that. So as you think about what to make for dinner this week, or what small change to try today, I hope you remember this. It's never too late to reclaim comfort in your own body. And sometimes, the most powerful solutions are the simplest ones, found not in the pharmacy, but in your own kitchen. Try it for yourself. Let your meals work with your body, not against it. And give yourself the rest you've been missing. You don't need to accept sleep disruption as a permanent part of aging. There is a gentler way. You're discovering it now. And I'd love to hear from you. If you've tried any of these vegetables, or if you've found something else that helps you sleep better at night, share it in the comments. This community grows stronger when we learn from one another. You never know who you might inspire. If this video gave you hope, or simply reminded you that better nights are possible, go ahead and click that like button. It helps more people find this message. And if you'd like more easy, down-to-earth health tips made just for your stage of life, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're in this together. Take care of yourself. Be gentle with your body. And here's to sleeping through the night and waking up ready to enjoy life again.